Okay. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your August Soul session. Okay, I'm Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. We're going to be looking at an overall energy between you and your person of interest. And then we're going to be looking at a more specific spread. Where we're going to be looking at how your person of interest thinks as well as feels about you, Taurus. So, okay, that's our 3 cards. And let me go ahead and pull the cards for our more specific spread. I hope you have been well, my wonderful Taurians. So, the overall energy representing you all, interesting, for the month of August is the Page of Chalices. Interesting. So, what it's looking like, Taurus, in reference to your person of interest, there is some things on your mind. There are some things that you all are wanting to say. It's a lot of projections that are going on as well. I feel almost like not necessarily that you guys are in a dream state. I would say more of a daydreamy kind of energy, to where whether this person, will find out in a few minutes, whether this person is someone that you're dealing with, or if this person is like a crush or something like that. It's a lot of your head space being filled up with what if scenarios, you know what I mean? Like kind of fantasizing or daydreaming. If it's like a crush person, if it's somebody that you guys are like already engaging with, it's kind of projecting yourself into the future with this particular person, or wondering where it is that you guys are, or wondering where this is, gonna go, or where this can go, or do they really like me? Do they want to commit? Do they want to get married? It's like a lot of like headspace type of stuff, but it feels very much like a daydreamy kind of energy. I wouldn't suggest it either. I don't feel that you guys are communicating any of this. I just feel like this is something that's going on, behind the, very put together, Taurus veneer, if you will. Now, for your person of interest, interesting. It's fascinating. Your person of interest is showing up as the 4 of Wands. So when it comes to you, they see a sense of balance, a sense of stability. I have to say security as well, in reference to you. So more or less, when they're looking at you, they're seeing someone that is a pretty balanced person, and someone that, in reference to them, and this is, let me clarify that. This is if y'all are like not really dealing with each other, and we're talking about like a crushy type of thing, right? They're seeing a sense of potential stability, security, and harmony with you. Now, if this is someone you're already dealing with, this person is in a very, I'll say, a similar energy, not necessarily headspace, because I don't get necessarily daydreamy with this. I feel with your person of interest, their perception towards you now is like very practical. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like logistically, this makes sense. We're in the same place in our life. I like them, they like me. They're a pretty chill person. We're into the same kind of things. You know what I mean? So it's positive nonetheless, simply put. Now, the energy between the two of you, well, let me make sure. Oh, there's a boob. Hold on. We have the 7 of Cuppies and the reverse as the energy between the two of you, which is good. I like this, Taurus. This is a good thing. It's looking like both of you guys are approaching this situation between, and I can say this both if this is someone that you're crushing on, someone you're newly dating, or someone that, you've been talking to for a little minute. There isn't really any BS or rose colored glasses. So even though Taurus is in a daydreamy kind of state, and you are like very much like, in like, well, I wouldn't even say you guys are in a 7 of Cups energy, because I don't necessarily feel there's a confusion. much like I said with your person, how it's a level of practicality to how it is that, they're perceiving you. I feel very much the same way with Taurus, even though you're more in like an emotional kind of state. And I'm trying to be politically correct when I say this, because what I want to say that this feels to me that this would be a Taurus female that I'm talking to. I feel like if this was a Taurus male, like what I'm picking up on for the person of interest, I feel it would be presenting itself more that way. You know what I mean? In a very practical, non-daydreamy, like we have a lot of stuff in common. I like them type of deal. So I really do feel that this is a Taurus female that I would be talking to. But what I'm saying in reference to the Seven of Cups in the reverse is the fact that both of you are approaching this situation without rose-colored glasses. So even though Taurus is in a daydreamy state, you're not idealizing the person. Thank you. That is the word I was looking for. You're not idealizing the person or puffing them up or, fantasizing them into this ideal human creature. It's like, even though you guys are in an emotional space, you're still thinking about stuff that's pretty practical. Do they like me? Do they not like me? Are they gonna, commit? Like, do they want marriage? Do they, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're thinking about practical things, but it's just more the perception of it is in like a daydreamy kind of state, if that's making sense. Now, getting into the more specific spread of how your person of interest thinks and feels about you, our first card in their fleeting thoughts. Fascinating. We have the 10 of Cuppies. Then we have the King. Good God. I'm sorry. And this is what I heard in my head. We have the King of Swords in the reverse. What I heard in my head is, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? And then we have, good God. We have the Seven of Swords. God, who hurt your person? God, dog. Okay. And then in their conscious thoughts, child, we have the 10 of Wands. Taurus, you guys have an interesting human being. Okay. So with this 10 of Chalices, right? And mind you, this is their fleeting thoughts. So this is information that they're, just kind of juggling around in their head. So more or less, your person of interest does see potential of going like the long haul with you in so many words. They see you as that type of person. They see the potential for that, right? But while I was laughing with this King of Swords in the reverse, this is like a lot of bit of suspicion that your person has towards you. And this is whether, like I said, whether you're crushing on this person or if you guys are actually like dating and stuff like that, it's suspicion that they have towards you because this person got screwed over past tense. I see this even more so by the 7 of Swords, because in this deck, which is why I love this deck so much, that's like my erectile dysfunction card in this deck. So it really speaks to a person feeling like insecure and wondering if they measure up or if they're good enough, right? So with your person of interest, the stuff that they're kind of juggling in their head is a culmination of all of those things. They see the potential of things being able to grow with you all, seeing you as someone that would be emotionally fulfilling for them, seeing you as someone that would be contentment and happiness for them. However, what they've experienced in the past, it's something about you that fits the mold, I'm going to say. But you fitting the mold could be a myriad of different things, because it could be the way that you look. It could be the way that you dress. It could be the way you talk. It could be things that you're interested in. It's something about you that kind of reminds them of someone or people that this person has dated past tense, and it did not turn out well, child. Let me just tell you that, okay? It did not turn out well. It was a whole lot of like gaslighty manipulation, like, cheating, blatant lies, you know what I mean? And when I say gaslighting, not just like in arguments, but gaslighting in the sense of like, I see you at this restaurant with another person, and you're like, that's my cousin, right? And it's like, I know all your cousins. That's definitely not your cousin. Oh, they've been living in Europe. You know what I'm saying? So you kiss your cousin. Hopefully my channel doesn't get flagged for that. And it's like, yeah, that's like our culture. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel that kind of gaslighting. Or you catch the person cheating and they're like, you can't blame me for this. You work a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like this person being mind fucked in a sense by people that they've been with past tense. And it's not to say that Taurus is at all like that. I just feel it's some sort of commonality. That's why I say it's like, it's either the way you talk or the way you wear your hair or the way that you dress. It's something about you superficially that's reminiscent of people that they've dated past tense. And that's kind of like a fear that they have. Because once again, like I said, this is their fleeting thoughts. So this is just information that they're weighing. But the thing I can tell you is where this is really coming from is this person's own insecurity. Because I can say if they've experienced that, God forbid, with multiple people in their past, it started to erode their self-esteem over time. So, and of course, I'm sure all of us can relate to that. It's like when you experience something repeatedly, you kind of sit back and start to feel like, okay, is life trying to tell me something? Is God trying to tell me something? Is the universe trying to tell me something and I'm just not getting it? But that's like where this person is. So it is the interest in you, them seeing the potential in you, having fears from what they've experienced past tense, wondering if you're like that. Like, is this just another person like everyone else? And that really triggering their own insecurities and feelings of, not being good enough in so many words. Now, with this 10 of Wands being in their conscious thoughts, which is what they are aware of, like they're definitely aware of this, they are very much overwhelmed by all of this. And the thing that's interesting, and this is what I'm feeling intuitively, but it's reminding me of something I explain to my clients a lot in therapy. Like whenever someone is experiencing anxiety, we're not aware of how much anxiety like puts pressure on our bodies in so many words. Because when you live with anxiety for an extended period, it becomes second nature. So all of the anxious thoughts that you're having and the what ifs, what ifs, what ifs, and the things that you're projecting into the future, you start mistaking anxiety's suggestions as your own thoughts. So your mind is constantly running. It's constantly looking in the environment and scanning it for potential dangers. When someone calls you and it's like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. Your heart rate shoots up. You know what I'm saying? So all of this stuff is kind of happening in the background. And how this manifests is like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm so tired. I get off from work and I'm going straight to sleep. Or, I'm not sleeping at night. I'm not staying asleep at night. And it's like, I don't understand why. And it's like, you scored high on the GAD-7. And it's like, what are you typically thinking about when you're anxious? And people are like, I don't really have anxious thoughts. Like, I don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? You're not aware that you're thinking about that. Now, I say that to say, not to give you a mini education course on anxiety, but I say that to say, with your person of interest, their fleeting thoughts and seeing the vast contrast of this is like a full Likert scale that I'm seeing happening in this person's head throughout the day. And it's all the way over here. Am I good enough? Will they like me? Am I smart enough? Do I make enough money? Am I attractive enough? Right? They're thinking all of that. Then on the other side, it's like they're all reminiscing in the past. It's like Joanne did this to me and Niecy did that. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? You know what I'm saying? So they're all the way over here with that. And then in the middle, it's like, wow, I really like Taurus. Taurus is gorgeous. And wow, they're intelligent, they're smart, they're beautiful, they're so creative, they have so much stuff going for them. Oh my gosh, they like that. I like this too. Like, oh my goodness, she loves Incubus. I love Incubus too. That's me sending my dream out into the universe, because I would love if I met a guy who loved Incubus as much as I do, but that's neither here nor there, right? So all of these things are going on in his mind throughout the day. So consciously, the only thing that he knows at this present moment, looking at you, is overwhelm. And you literally have done absolutely nothing but just be your great Taurus self. You know what I'm saying? So this person feels burdened, overwhelmed, and how this would be manifesting is like when you guys are talking, they may feel super nervous, and this may or may not be things you're able to pick up on. But I mean, if you're like really a keen and, got your discernment on point, you would kind of pick up on this stuff. It's them kind of stammering when they talk, when they're around you. It's like they just seem really nervous or like uncomfortable or like stiff or something like that. And it's literally, they don't know where it's coming from. It's like they just know that every time they're engaging with you, it's a level of pressure that they feel. They're putting a lot of thought into what they're saying, what they're talking about, what it is that, they're wearing, different things that they bring up. And worst case scenario, for some people, it could be where they're literally two sides of the Likert scale. They're either obsessively over talking to where you're like, okay, or it's like they're just dead silent. You know what I mean? Like they're not really that talkative. So it's like two ways that could be manifesting. But all of this is coming from, and I would even go as far as to say they have some sort of a vested interest, because like I said, with the 7 of Cups in the reverse, it's a clarity of them seeing like your worth and your value and seeing that you're a catch. You know what I mean? But the battle is, if are they going to screw it up, or are you like smoke and mirrors? Are you like everyone else? And if you're not like everyone else, am I even good enough for them, or am I going to do something to screw this up? So it's all of this stuff that's going on in this person's head. Bless this person, child. We need to say a little prayer for them. Anywho, their subconscious impression, sweet God, this poor baby. We need to have intercessory prayer for this poor person. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. That's fixed sign energy. So that is Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, as well as Aquarius, if that's relevant for any of you. So with this poor person, child, they're pessimistic. I will say that this person's outlook on themselves and their life, and mind you, this is subconscious. So this would be manifesting for them clearly, not in their conscious thoughts, but it would manifest in a way where it's almost like a core belief, but a core belief they're not aware of, right? So it's almost like I don't know why I'm being compelled. I've never explained this to any sign before, but for some reason, Taurus, I feel compelled to explain it to you like this. But if you want to understand like how a subconscious impression of this caliber would work, is the equivalent of the day this person was born. They were born with their eyes closed, right? And right before they open their eyes for the first time, imagine if someone put like a veil over their head, right? And now, however old they are, no one has ever taken this veil off. So how this person is seeing this, like the world, they're seeing it through this veil, but they just have no idea that a veil is there, right? So they're seeing everything behind like a haze. They're not really seeing it clearly. Now, this proverbial veil that your person of interest has over their eyes is one of them always being on the receiving end of the short end of the stick in life, right? They don't know life any other way, right? And then I can even get a little deeper with this. And this is only going to be for some of y'all, because not all of y'all fraternize, on this side of, life. But this is like karmic kind of energy. So this feels almost like a past life thing with this particular person, where they've bought this in from a prior incarnations, which means that this is pretty deep, child. So how it is that they perceive life is them always receiving the short end of the stick, and they don't know life in any other way. They just know that if they're going for a promotion, they're going to apply for it, but they know they're not going to get it. And when they don't get it, they're not really disappointed. It's like they expected that. You know what I'm saying? If they opened up a chicken shack, right? And the chicken shack was doing well, and then another chicken shack moves in like a block down from theirs, they're not shocked nor surprised. They expected it because it's like going too good for me. And we know that when things go good for me, they're not going to last long. Now, here's the thing I can say, Taurus. Only my woke out there are going to be able to admit to this, okay? But that sounds very much like a Taurian quality in the fact that many Taurians have a tendency to wait for the other shoe to drop when good things happen to us. Those who know, know. Those who don't are in denial. Moving right along. So that is the commonality. But with this person, hence, why it is that their fleeting thoughts and their conscious thoughts are the way that they are is just so funny, because I want to give this poor man or woman or human a hug, okay? Because poor little tank, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, they always see themselves as getting like the raw deal with things, in so many words, right? Now, how it is that they're projecting this onto you goes very much back to this King of Swords in the reverse, and the fact of where they're trying to figure out where they are with you is, God, it's like me repeating the same thing all over again. Them trying to figure out where it is that they are with you is like, are you going to be the person who screws me over? Like, you're the super dope person, but you're the super dope person that's going to lead me on to believe that you actually like me and are actually interested. And then you're just going to drop me like a bad habit, like everyone else, right? Or are you just completely out of my league and too good for me? And the thing with this, I wouldn't necessarily say it's concerning per se, but this is kind of reminded me of Gemini's reading from July. It depends on where you're at with a child, but this particular person, in your relationship with them, they would probably need a lot of reassurance. Not in the sense that they would be like, stalking you, going through your phone or anything. It's just that this person's self-esteem isn't the greatest. And it's not saying that it's somebody who walks around like, you know what I'm saying? Because something I specialize in therapy, I like to believe that I discovered it because I've never found anything written on it as of yet, aside from the studies I've done. But I've realized there's a thing called high functioning, low self-esteem, right? And that's people who have low self-esteem, but looking at them, you would never freaking think that, because they got 2-3 PhDs, they got a nice house, nice car, they dress bomb, looking good head to toe. But me as a therapist and people being honest in therapy, it's like, I'm like, wow, all of this sounds like low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? But they don't fit the mold of a person you would think that has it. And they're not all the way on the other side of the Likert scale, like a narcissist who also has low self-esteem, to where they're like, I am the shit, I am the greatest, I am amazing. These people have a tendency to be very humble. It's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the vibe I would feel with them. You guys would know, because it's a potential they could manifest two ways. They could clearly be a person who's very overtly insecure and like head down kind of person, or on the other side of that, they would be someone who would fall into that category of high functioning low self-esteem, to where when you look at them, you would never think this person has any ounce of self-doubt, but they seriously doubt themselves and suffer from imposter syndrome and all of the things. But that's very much how they're projecting that onto you, is not fully looking at you like a villain, but it's seeing you in that same vein of like, too good to be true. They're either going to screw over me, or I'm never going to be good enough for them. And they're eventually going to realize that I'm a piece of shit and I'm not good enough, and they're going to leave me anyway because I don't deserve someone like this. I feel so sorry for your person. Anywho, their feelings towards you. Oh, that's so adorable. Taurus, thank you for this reading, my fellow Taurians. Like, I needed this in my life, because the soul sessions I did prior to this, child, it was some things, okay? Thank you for this, Taurus. Oh my goodness. Their feelings towards you. Come on, damn it. Come on, camera. There we go. The Empress. Oh. So they see you as a very maternal, very feminine goddess figure, potential mother, potential wife, right? Like they literally put you on a pedestal and feel like you are like the great Dundada when it comes to potential romantic partners. They feel like you're very emotionally available, you're very communicative, even like funny, like all of the things. They see you literally very much as the total package, ideal girlfriend, ideal partner, ideal wife, all the things, right? So that's super good. However, like I said, the only downside that I see with this is I feel if you were with this person, like I feel like this person would be a good choice. However, like I was telling you guys, like I told Gemini, a person could be good on paper, they could be a really great person, but it's all about what you're able to deal with as an individual. And with this person, I can tell you they are a pessimist and they would need a lot of reassurance. And the question you would have to ask yourself is if that's something that you have the wherewithal to deal with, because some people literally don't. Like that can be a deal breaker for some people. Like, I need you to be secure in our relationship. Like, don't keep asking me if I love you. Like I told you 5 times today. Like it's not going to change because I went and, got something out of the car and came back. You know what I mean? Or it's like you're going out of town on business and it's like, are we okay? Are you sure we're okay? Like, is everything good? Like if something like that would be like, like drive you mad, that could potentially be a problem. But with this person, I feel this is so ingrained in them. It's probably like this isn't something that's necessarily going to change. Because, usually I'll throw in like, go get you a friendly local neighborhood therapist type of deal. The fact that I pick up with their subconscious impression that this is potentially something they're carrying in from a past life that they're working out in this life, this may just be a character trait. Like, how there's some people who just like have a sarcastic, like dry sense of humor. Like that's innately how they are with this person. Oh my gosh. I don't know which one of my guys just said that, but that's dead ass. They said Eeyore. Oh my God. Yes. That is like the perfect depiction. It's like Eeyore. It's just, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally, and not saying they're like that 24 hours a day. It's like if you think of the vibe of Eeyore, like that's their perception on life. You know what I'm saying? They could win the freaking Nobel Peace Prize and be like, I guess they're probably gonna take it away from me when they realize that my research sucks. I didn't give to enough organizations. Like that's the person, like dead ass. And that's just like an ingrained thing with their personality. So I say your call on this would really be, if that's your cup of tea. But anywho, I'm gonna throw the rice of resonance. I think I'm like jambling up my talking because I'm trying to stay under 30 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to throw the dice of resonance. So go ahead and ask a yes or no question. Okay, so okay. I'm going to tell y'all like I told Virgo, we have female, Leo, cusp, Cappy, and coworker. So female, Leo, Cappy, so Capricorn, cusp. So they could be a Leo, whatever cusp, Capricorn, whatever cusp. We have coworker. And the answer to the yes or no question was ask again. So ask your question out loud. Yell it at your phone, okay? Yell it at your phone. Ask your question. Say it out loud. The answer to your question, Taurus, is yes. Can you see it? There we go. The answer to your question is yes. So female Leo, cusp, Cappy, coworker, and yes. So that has been your connection session for August, Taurus. Thank you for letting me do this. You have made my life so wonderful. But anyway, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later.